Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today it is time to feed our sweet tooth with one of those things that everyone loves. It is called dark chocolate chip cookies. We only need a few ingredients. Here's what we need. You will also need the following equipment: a bowl and a sieve, handy pink spatula, and it's plugged in below, food processor, plus 3 baking trays, which you need to grease and line, or if you want to make larger cookies like I love to do, 2 of these. So I'm going to make 12. If you do them the other way, you'll make less, but I always love to make big cookies. All right, let's go through the ingredients. So we need 125 grams of unsalted butter, which we've chopped up. I had some in the fridge. Unsalted butter does not keep for a long time. It had a bad smell to it. You really shouldn't smell much in unsalted butter, so that one went in the bin, and we're starting with fresh. Can't go wrong. We also need half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar. When they say firmly packed, like you're making a sandcastle. 1/3 of a cup of caster sugar, 1 egg, which I've cracked into a cup, which I'm just going to give a quick whip to. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, haven't measured it out yet, but it is in there. 1.5 cups of self-raising flour, and 1 cup of dark cooking chocolate bits. These ones here. Now the thing with the dark cooking chips is they hold their shape when they cook, so they don't spread everywhere. So that's what makes chocolate chip cookies really yummy. You will also need your oven on 180, so let's get ready to cook. Okay, so we're starting off by using our food processor. I nearly forgot what it was called then, thank you. So into this we want the butter. Get in, butter, get in. We also want the brown sugar. The caster sugar. The egg. And the vanilla, which was the 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to pop the lid on and we're going to process it until it is creamy. Boy, oh boy, for a minute I thought that was empty. There isn't much in that. Oh well, I don't do much cooking unfortunately at the moment with sweet treats, so that'll last a bit longer. All right, lid on. Give it a process until it is all creamy. Now, because my food processor is old and I don't want to kill it, I just take the lid off every now and again just to stop it and reposition it. And this may take a while depending on how good your food processor is, because you want all the butter to be incorporated. You don't want chunks of butter, because if you've got chunks of butter, then when you cook it, it's just going to come out in it. So keep persevering with it. So when you're happy with the consistency and how it looks like that, then we're ready to say goodbye to the food processor. Thank you, Mr. Food Processor. You've done us well. And drag over your bowl, and we're going to put it into this bowl. So first of all, get your little blade out of the way. I do have a backup food processor, believe it or not. Touch wood, haven't had to use it. So it's pretty cool. So this is going in here. It looks like peanut butter. It really does. Look at that. That looks so much like peanut butter. It is not peanut butter. All right. In we go. A bit more. This is where the handy pink spatula comes in really well, because you can scrape the food processor. Okay. There we go. All right, once we've done that, we're going to sift in the flour. So let's get our, actually we'll get it all into the bottom. Get in there. Okay, try again. All right, sift it in. So pop this on top. In goes this, sift it in. A good thing about this bowl and sieve combo, if you haven't already seen me use it before, it actually fits perfectly into it. I do have another system that is a bowl with one that fits on top, but because I was putting something else into it, I wanted to do it this way. So thank you, Mr. Sifter. All right, so that's what it looks like. Now we're just going to mix this in carefully so we don't lose all our flour. This is why it's a good idea to use a bigger bowl. All right, here we go. Just going to mix it all in. To mix until well combined. So you'll know what it looks like when it's well combined, because you won't really see the floury colour. It'll be almost back to that peanut butter colour. Well, it should be. It may not be, but it should be. There we go. There we go, see. A bit hard to see in the white bowl. All right, here we go. Okay, so when we're happy with it, there will always be more mixing, but we'll be happy enough with it for now. We're going to add the chocolate bits. That's what I thought I said. I thought for a minute it was going to make me put them on as I cooked. That's too painful. We want the chocolate bits in the batter. Oh, look at that. Now you can see it. Now you can see what's going on. All right, let's bring our trays over. Yum, yum. And these are supposed to cook for, I think it was 12 minutes. So because these are bigger, they may need to cook for a bit longer. We'll see how we go. Okay. Place dessert spoons full of the mixture about 4 centimeters apart. So that's if you're doing it in the tray. I've had these trays for ages, and whenever I used to cook packets of biscuits, like the chocolate chip bickies or the ones with the rainbow bits in them, I would always do them in this because I find it easier, because you don't need to worry about much other than greasing them. You don't need to line it, and they're just so much easier. So the way I normally do it with when I go to do this is I actually divide the mixture up and make it into little cookie balls, basically. So we divide it into half, and then from the half we then divide it into 3, and then the 3 we divide into 2. So it's pretty technical, I guess. And we just need to really fold them like that. Push them down. They will spread though, so you don't need to be too stressed about pressing them down, but just mainly make sure that the mixture is all incorporated. Oh, it's been so long since I've made cookies. I'm so excited. Look at these. Look at these. Yummy. Just going to get my hands in there and mix it a little bit more. Sometimes I feel like just mixing it with the spoon isn't good enough. Okay. That's the way. Want a bit more on that one. Stingy cookie that one is. All right. Set that one aside. Now you got two ways of cooking these in the oven. You can cook one at a time, or you can do one on the top shelf, one on the bottom shelf. I miss the oven that I used to have before I moved up here. It was a gas oven and I could fit two trays side by side and it was a beauty. Anyway, I left Rentsville to have my own place, so it doesn't matter. You don't need the best equipment to cook in. I've come to realise that. But it's always nice to have the best equipment to cook with as well. After saying that, you don't need it, but it's nice to have. Just remember that. Be grateful with what you have. There we go. And our last bit. So you can basically almost make it into a log. Then you just divide the log up like that one. Whoops. Don't know my own strength, literally. I really don't know my own strength sometimes. That's that one. All right, so I'm going to pop these in just for 12 minutes, as the recipe said, but mine will need longer, and I'll see you when I have cookies. And there we have it. I've given them 15 minutes after all, because I like them soft in the middle, and upon cooling, they will start to firm anyway. So they're not soft. See, that one's already becoming firm. So give them a few minutes to cool in the trays and then pop them onto a wire rack so that the air can get under them and they cool perfectly. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been dark chocolate chip cookies. I'll catch you on the next one.